All right, guys. So today, a lot of you have been asking me through Interview Titan, how do I actually reach out to a recruiter? What can I actually write to them that will actually get them to reach back out to me and say, hey, I am interested in you? Now, I want to start off the bat by saying that this is a bit of a numbers game. So don't get disheartened if every message doesn't get a reply. But the kind of message that gets a reply most of the time is one that is very, very tailored and personalized. Now, think about this. If somebody reached out to you asking for a job, would you give it to them if you didn't know them? The answer is no, you wouldn't. A, nobody likes people who are transactional. B, nobody likes people when they want something from them if they're not getting something in return. Now, as a job seeker, you probably don't have a lot to give them. But that's not true. You can give them something that everybody wants. You can give them your attention. That is so valuable in any conversation because you are just listening to them. Like that, the outreach has to also give them something of value. Now, people love talking about themselves. People love talking about their successes. How do you pry that out of a recruiter or a hiring manager or somebody you want to connect with at a company? It's actually not super hard. So what I would do is, this is my LinkedIn profile. What I would do is I would actually search for people I want to connect with. So for example, say I want to search for, I don't know, Google. Let's do Google recruiter. Now, say I want to connect with this guy, right? I'm going to go to his profile and then I'm going to do something very, very important that nobody seems to do. Okay. Might seem obvious, but you know what? It's not obvious because I get a lot of students ask me the same question. The first thing you go to any LinkedIn profile is you look through what this person did, what his career has been like. So for this guy, he worked in several different companies. He worked at Cisco, he worked at AbbVie, he worked at Toast, he worked at Lead, he worked at Facebook. So now you get a story of what exactly he did. He was a software engineer, then he went into talent sourcing, then he went into talent acquisition. Now, you know that he's gone from point A to point B. How has he done that? How did he go from software engineering to talent acquisition? Seems like a really interesting leap, right? This is something that you can latch onto and ask about in your message. So if I were to recruit, this is something that you could really ask about in that message. And if I were to reach out to him, this is what I'd do. So this guy went from software engineer at Facebook to tech sourcer at Cisco. He stayed in tech, but he pivoted from engineering to recruiting. That's a big leap. So this is how I would phrase a message to him. And you can do this with everyone. More. Add a note. Hello. Now, I'm not going to send this message off because privacy reasons, but this guy's name is, let's just say his name is Name. And if he's made a post, talk about that. Maybe he hasn't made a post, and that's fine. I'm really impressed by you. Who doesn't like a compliment, right? So you want to start off with a compliment. Your journey from a software engineer to a recruiter is very compelling to me. I would love to know more about how you made that transition because I'm also trying to do something similar. Would you be open to speaking with me for only 15 minutes? Feel free to say no. Now, it's a little over, so I'm going to reduce this, but I'm going to break this down for you in a bit, this message. So let's look at it also. You don't need it with me. Okay, so that's 297. Feel free to copy paste this however you want to wish. Now let me break this down. The first part is a compliment. People love compliments, all right? Give it to them. The second part is a personalized message about their journey and why it's important to you. This is so important because if you don't customize and make that effort to customize the story, then they're not going to respond to something generic. And then the third sentence is, I would love to know more about how you made that transition because I'm trying to do something similar. Now, see how I've kept it vague, right? This is intentional because your journey may not be wanting to go from software engineering to recruiting. You might have your own journey, but you want to get face time with a recruiter or a hiring manager. And you've kept it vague intentionally so they respond and latch on to that. So this is very intentional. Would you be open to speaking for only 15 minutes? Short amount of time, only 15 minutes, not a big incentive. Anybody's willing to give out 15 minutes of their day. The most important thing, though, is this. Feel free to say no. This is a very powerful statement because you've given them the permission to deny you. And they know that if they do deny you, there's no harm, no foul. But since you've given them that permission, there is no obligation for them to respond. Reverse psychology, though, will probably make them respond to this because they'll feel bad about it. Oh, this is just a guy trying to reach out and learn more about my career. I don't want to say no to him. Let me actually reply. So this is a DM template for your notes that you can use directly to get people to reach back out to you once you send it to them. You can fire 10 of these a day. And if you're not doing that, then you're not doing the right things you need to do on LinkedIn to grow your network. And then all I do is, I'll connect with them. I'm just going to say hello.